An 11-year-old girl became 4chan's #1 target after making a video response to the haters. Let's talk about it. I'm scared. That went everywhere. Our story begins with a young woman by the name of Jessica Leonhardt, aka Jessi Slaughter. Jessi was the typical child YouTuber, albeit a bit more profanity-laced than most others. But her videos were what you'd expect to come from an 11-year-old on YouTube in 2010. Oh fuck, am I bleeding? Jessi had actually built a small following on her YouTube, along with other sites like Stick'em and MySpace, making her sort of a niche internet micro-celebrity. And another fact about Jessi, and one of the most important facts of this entire story, is that she was a fan of the music group Blood on the Dance Floor. Blood on the Dance Floor was a band which specialized in dance and electronic music, which had a huge fan base with children. And in July of 2010, a user posted on the website Sticky Drama, which is an old forum for like gossiping about the happenings of the internet. Imagine like TMZ for people who were listening to Jeffree Star during the MySpace era. And this post alleged that Blood on the Dance Floor member Dahvie Vanity had sex with Jessi Slaughter, who would have only been 11 years old at the time of this post. Jessi started responding to people who were talking about this post about her and Dahvie, and it's important to note that basically everybody in the comments was going after Jessi instead of saying anything about Dahvie, and the amount of people talking about her made Jessi decide to finally respond to the allegations in a video, and that video was titled Haters, Piercings, Sticky Drama, Smiley Face. Throughout this video, Jessi calls out all the haters and lets them know what she thinks of them.
So, and if you hate me, you know what? Suck my non-existing penis, okay? Just suck it. Get AIDS and die.
Jessi spends a lot of the 4.5-minute video telling the haters that they're just jealous because she's perfect. She confirms in the video that her mother had been in contact with Dahvie following the Sticky Drama post, ending the video with what she thinks of the haters.
But haters, fuck you. It's a big fuck you to all those haters. Okay? Love y'all.
The profanity-laced response from the 11-year-old Jessi Slaughter began making the rounds on Sticky Drama and getting tons of views in the process. And this success is what eventually led the video to finding its way to 4chan. And as you probably guessed, 4chan had a field day with this video. 4chan users began rating the video, leaving tons of hate-filled comments to which Jessi tried to fight back, but 4chan was too strong. They also ended up trolling her on all of her accounts from Facebook to MySpace. And this is where Jessi made a huge mistake. Since Jessi was a literal child, she didn't understand the dangers that came with a 4chan raid, and she regularly accepted friend requests on all of her private accounts. And this made it all too easy for the trolls to dox her, leaking her email, home address, phone number, and pretty much anything else online. This is when an all-out attack on Jessi happened. This attack coming in the form of prank calls, mean emails, pizzas being ordered to her house, as well as some people ordering local Craigslist escorts to her house. This torment went on for a good little bit, and it was enough to finally break Jessi, causing her to post 2 more video responses on her YouTube. However, these video responses only fed the trolls even more.
Okay, you guys, this is Jessi Slaughter, and
I just wanted
to say that you guys have ruined my life.
I'm going to tell you right now, this is from her father. You bunch of lying, no good punks. And I know who it's coming from because I backtraced it. And I know who's emailing and who's doing it. And you've been reported to the cyber police and the state police. So you better write one.
Our first video began with Jessi sobbing hysterically while her father began screaming at trolls about how he, quote, backtraced their information and threatened that anyone who comes near his daughter, well...
And if you come near my daughter, guess what? Consequences will never be the same. You lying bunch of pricks.
Meanwhile, Jessi describes her life over the last few days since the trolling began. Now obviously this video was fueling the already infernoing fire of this entire story, but for as bad as this video was, the other video was way worse. This video began with Jessi exclaiming that the trolls have ruined her life before her father comes back to make one final statement to the trolls.
To put on there, I'm recording them all and they are being sent to the police department. And guess what? Your emails will be caught and will be bound. And who said you're going to beat my daughter up? You will have to deal with the police because you done goofed.
Now there is more to this video, including a hysterical Jessi telling us about how her life is ruined, but the last line her father said before storming off, "You done goofed," was the ultimate lull for the trolls, who adopted this term, making it become an extremely common term back then, and you can even find the term being used today. Now the appearance of Jessi's father in these videos only made things worse, with the negative attention on the story becoming so massive that her local police department had to place her under police protection, taking her to a safe house for a short period. And the inpouring of trolls was so massive that it caught the attention of multiple news outlets. And the trolling became so intense that Jessi was even covered by Good Morning America, who interviewed Jessi and her entire family about everything they had experienced. In the interview, the family discusses how dark the trolling got, as well as the fact that Jessi was sent to a mental health facility to watch her out of fear that she was going to take her own life. The trolling of Jessi Slaughter continued for a good period, with pizzas being sent and memes and even websites being made to mock them. But just like any good meme, after a few weeks, the trolling began to die down. But this also had to do with the fact that Jessi was now under police protection. So yeah, despite how intense the trolling had gotten, it finally started to die down. However, some people did keep tabs on Jessi Slaughter once she made a return to the internet. Jessi did eventually return to the internet, but stayed away from making any new videos. However, she did start to become more active again in small communities. But that didn't stop people from keeping tabs on her movements, and in that same year, a video came out from a tiny chat in which you can hear a heated argument between Jessi and her father.
Don't unplug that computer!
Shut your fucking mouth! Don't tell me come back tomorrow and I might give a fuck! Jessica, I don't trust anybody! Anybody! Especially your friends!
Not much else was said about Jessi besides a weird pregnancy rumor conspiracy thing that's too much to cover in this video, and I don't even want to cover it, so yeah, nothing else happened for a while. But sadly, things were about to get worse for Jessi. The following year, February of 2011 to be exact, Jessi's father, Gene Leonhardt, was arrested on felony abuse charges after he allegedly punched Jessi in the mouth during an argument. Not only was Gene's mugshot made public, but the actual police report was released as well, telling us exactly what went down the night that Gene was arrested. It was also reported that Jessi had been placed in a foster care facility following this incident. Jessi's life continued being monitored at this point, including the leaking of this child's private photos, and it's even said that around this time, Jessi attempted to take her own life. This story takes another massive turn as in August of 2011, 6 months after his arrest, Jessi's father Gene passed away from a heart attack at age 53. And in a strange turn of events, the same exact day her father passed away, a friend of Jessi's posted a video of her online named Jessi Slaughter Apologizes. But this apology wasn't aimed at her father or the trolls, and instead this apology was aimed at blood on the dance floor.
Is it recording? Yeah. Hi Dahvie, hi Jay, hi Sally, hi the whole BTDF spectrum. It's Jessica Rose, aka Jessi Slaughter here. I'm saying sorry for everything that I've done. I have been locked up in mental institutions, and just like you done Goose said, I do have to go to counseling now and everything, but it's not because of you. I'm really sorry for everything that I've done. I'm sorry for accusing you of rape and everything. I know that all that happened. And I'm having this recorded by Oriana because I have no computer privileges now because of foster. Yeah, love you guys.
Jessi did have some internet presence at this point, which has been archived, but It was mostly that Chris Chan-esque hyperfixation by some which archived her every move. So that begs the question, where is Jessi today? But before I answer that, there's another part of this story which I've waited to talk about until right now, as it's one of the most glossed over parts of this story, and that is Dahvie Vanity. So as you remember, this entire story started with the accusation made between Dahvie and Jessi about an apparent relationship between the two. We've taken a deep look into what transpired for Jessi following these accusations, but whatever happened to Dahvie? Well, Dahvie responded to the situation on a song released in July of 2010, aptly titled, "You Done Goofed." This song is a Jessi Slaughter diss track, and he's basically claiming that she's lying on his name just to get some clout. He makes references to the videos and even says that she's a slut who's going to cut herself. Dahvie dedicated an entire song to an 11-year-old girl, and I think that speaks for itself. So after he released this song, and even before he ever released this song, dating back as early as 2009, ex-bandmates accused Vanity of very weird behaviors involving literal children. There are tons of stories you can find online about Dahvie from 2009 all the way up until about 2018 and 2019. 21 different women accused Dahvie of sexually assaulting them. Now, I can't go into full detail for the sake of YouTube's guidelines, but these accusations are legitimately foul, with 16 of 21 being minors at the time of the stuff happening to them. Now, while all of these women were coming out with their accusations against Dahvie, Jessi had been living their best life and has even transitioned and is now going by Damien. Damien watched all of the allegations coming out, and in 2018, for the first time ever, accused Dahvie Vanity of sexually assaulting them when they were a minor. Later in 2020, Damien appeared on a podcast with Chris Hansen about their experiences with Vanity, with Hansen describing Damien as patient zero. Damien told Hansen that Vanity had sexually assaulted them in April of 2009, which would have meant that they were only 10 years old. And over the course of 16 months, Dahvie continued to assault Jessi in some horrific ways. Jessi later told Business Insider that she mentioned what had been happening to them to their classmate, and that classmate was the person behind the original information finding its way onto Sticky Drama. Now, it's important to state that despite 21 women coming forward with these accusations against Dahvie, Dahvie has never been arrested, and there has never been any charges brought forth against him. But it's firmly and widely believed that all of the accusations against Dahvie are 100% true. So now with that in mind, let's recount the story. Dahvie assaults a 10-year-old Jessi Slaughter who doesn't fully understand the severity of what's happened to her. Jessi has had little to no guidance in life outside of an abusive father. Then rumors about a very horrific thing happening to her begin to make the rounds. The internet just piles on top. She tries to fight back, not realizing the mistakes she's making, and things only get worse. All of this while going through a secret battle with herself, trying to come to terms with what exactly happened between them and Dahvie. Honestly, with all this information laid out now, it's hard not to feel bad for Damien, especially when you realize they were basically going through all of this on their own. And I understand they were a bit brash with how they chose to present themselves online, but dog, they were 11. We were all cringe on YouTube at 11, okay? Look at me. That's really me. I just couldn't imagine adding the assault that Jessi had faced at 11 years old on top of that. I couldn't even begin to imagine that. And with the end of our video, today's lesson is simple. Fuck Dahvie Vanity. And I think that's going to do it for this one, guys. So if you made it to the end, please like, please subscribe, and I have tons of other great weird web stories such as this one right here. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until next time, and as always, remember, Kobe sucks. And if you guys are wondering why I had this weird blue coloring the whole video, look at my beard.